All right, let's dive into one of the most famous fantasy stories ever written, C.S. Lewis's The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Whether you're studying this for class or just love the story, we're going to break down the beginning of this incredible adventure.
So, think about it. If you were exploring some big, old, dusty house, what's the craziest thing you could find? Well, for the four kids in our story, who were sent away from London during the war, the answer was, well, it was something way beyond their wildest dreams. So this all starts with a door to another world. Our story kicks off with the Pevensie children. They've been sent out of London to stay safe in the countryside, and they're exploring this huge, kind of spooky house owned by an old professor. And one rainy day, that's when everything changes. Okay, first things first, let's meet our main characters. You really can't get the story without knowing the Pevensie siblings. Each one of them has a specific personality that's going to be super important later on. You've got Peter, the oldest, he's the leader of the group. Then there's Susan, she's the sensible, practical one. Edmund, well, Edmund can be a bit spiteful, especially to his little sister. And that brings us to Lucy, the youngest. She's the truthful one, and her curiosity is what kicks this whole thing off. So, picture this. It's that rainy day, and the kids are exploring. They find this room that's totally empty, except for this one big, old wardrobe. The others are kind of like, whatever, and move on. But Lucy, she hangs back. She's curious. So she opens the door, smells the mothballs, feels the fur coats, and she decides to step inside just to see how deep it goes. And this is where it gets crazy. This wardrobe is not just a wardrobe, it's a portal. As Lucy pushes deeper and deeper, the world just changes. Those soft fur coats, they suddenly feel like prickly pine trees. The wooden floor under her feet turns into cold, crunchy snow. And she's not in a dark cupboard anymore. She's in a winter forest. And in the distance, there's this single, lonely lamppost shining.
Lucy and the fawn. Right, so Lucy finds herself in this bizarre new place. And guess what? She's not alone for very long. Her first meeting is with someone pretty magical. Right there by the lamppost, she bumps into a fawn, a creature that's half man, half goat, and his name is Mr. Tumnus. And honestly, he's just as shocked to see her, a daughter of Eve, as she is to see him. And he's the one who tells her where she is, the land of Narnia. But there's a catch. Narnia is under this terrible spell where it's always winter, but get this, never Christmas. So Tumnus invites Lucy back to his cozy little cave for tea, which sounds nice, right? But then he just breaks down crying, and he confesses this awful secret. He's basically a spy for the evil ruler of Narnia, the White Witch, and his job was to capture any human he found and hand them over to her. And this right here, this is a huge moment. It's the first big moral choice in the story. Even though Tumnus is absolutely terrified of the witch, and for good reason, he just can't do it. He can't betray Lucy. So he does the right thing. He makes this incredibly brave choice, goes against the witch's orders, and helps her get back to the lamppost safely. Next up, Edmund meets the queen. So Lucy dates back, and get this, no time has passed at all. But even worse, nobody believes her, especially Edmund. He's just awful to her about it. But of course, it's not long before his own curiosity gets the best of him, and he decides to follow her into the wardrobe himself. Now, this is so important to see. Look at how different their first experiences in Narnia are. Lucy met Mr. Tumnus, who is kind, even though he was scared. Edmund? Oh man, he walks right into the White Witch herself. She calls herself the Queen of Narnia, and her welcome is, well, it's a lot scarier. The witch is smart. She's manipulative. She doesn't start with threats. She starts with temptation. She conjures up this box of Turkish delight for Edmund. And this isn't just any candy, you guys. It's enchanted. The more he eats, the more he desperately wants. It basically turns him greedy and clouds his judgment, making him willing to do anything for another piece. You can see exactly how she does it. First, she offers him comfort. Then she gives him that enchanted candy. She starts asking him all these questions about his siblings, and then comes the big promise. I'll make you a prince, a king even. You can have all the Turkish delight you want. All he has to do is bring his brother and sisters to her castle. And just like that, he falls for it hook, line, and sinker. Okay, on to the mission to save Tumnus. This is where everything, the lies, the truth, the betrayal, it all starts to boil over.
So they both get back, and Lucy is just thrilled, right? She thinks, finally, Edmund saw it too. He'll back me up. But no. In this just incredibly mean moment, he lies. He tells Peter and Susan that they were just pretending, just playing a game. He completely crushes Lucy and makes her look like a total liar. But it doesn't take long for the truth to come out. The kids are hiding from the housekeeper. And where do they hide? The wardrobe. And this time, all four of them stumble through together. Suddenly, they're all standing in the snow. And boom, Lucy was right all along. And Edmund? Well, he's just been caught in a massive lie. So the first thing they want to do is go see Lucy's friend, Mr. Tumnus. But when they get there, it's a disaster. His little home has been completely wrecked, and nailed to the door is this terrifying notice from the witch's secret police. Tumnus has been arrested for treason, for helping a human. And right here, this is the moment everything changes for good. This isn't a game anymore. This isn't just exploring. They realize this is our fault. They feel responsible for what happened to poor Mr. Tumnus. And even though they're scared, they know they can't just turn around and go home. They have to try and save him. Okay, so let's talk about the big lessons from Narnia so far. These first few chapters aren't just about setting up the adventure. They're laying the groundwork for all the important themes in the book. If you're studying this book, these are the themes you absolutely need to pay attention to. You've got your classic good versus evil. That's a big one. You see the contrast between betrayal and loyalty, right? Edmund versus Lucy. There's the danger of temptation, which we saw with the Turkish delight. And of course, the importance of truth and having courage even when you're afraid. Right when things are looking pretty grim, the kids meet a new friend, a talking beaver of all things, and he gives them this little piece of hope. He whispers these mysterious words. They say Aslan is on the move. This is the first hint we get that there's a powerful force for good out there, someone named Aslan who might be able to stand up to the White Witch. So what's the big takeaway here? It's that this isn't just a fun adventure anymore. For the Pevensie kids, this has become a real mission. A mission that's going to test who they are, how loyal they are to each other, and it's going to force them to be brave in ways they never thought possible. Which leaves us with this big question to think about as their journey really gets started.